Hello learner, greetings of the day. Let us discuss about general two-dimensional pivot point rotation. So far we have discussed about all the transformation technique, maybe it is translation, rotation or scaling. All those transformations were applied by taking origin as the fixed point. So we had written a matrix, translation matrix, or it may be rotation matrix or the scaling matrix. All these three matrices were written with the reference point origin. So by taking this as a fixed point. Now, what if my fixed point or the pivot point changes? That is, it shifts from the origin. It can be any arbitrary point other than origin. So if at all I have to apply now transformation by taking this arbitrary point or the pivot point as a fixed point of transformation, then how the matrices changes. So about that change of matrix we are going to discuss here. So you can just see a series of the series of transformation applied over the object here. So first let's see the object. The object is a triangle, basic 2D object, that is triangle, and the point about which we are performing now the transformation here is, it's an arbitrary point, and that arbitrary point over here you can see is xr comma yr. And now the transformation that I am applying over this triangle is a rotation. So it is, I am supposed to rotate the triangle about the pivot point xr comma yr. Now as I already said, my rotation matrix that I have, that is cos theta minus sin theta 0, then sin theta minus cos theta 0, and then 0 0 1, that matrix which is represented using homogeneous coordinate system. So that matrix I cannot use directly here in order to perform rotation about xr comma yr. So what I can do, can I move this particular triangle to the origin here, so that this triangle, if I shift to origin, so how do I shift it to origin? This point about which now I have to rotate this triangle, this point should be shifted to origin. So in order to shift this point to origin, I have to apply now a transformation technique. So what is the transformation technique that I can apply here? That is translation. Translation is nothing but the displacement. But remember, this translation is not applied in the forward direction. Instead, this translation is applied in the backward direction. So this translation, you call it as reverse translation, and this reverse translation is just to get this pivot point or the fixed point, arbitrary point to the origin. So it is the reverse translation that I have to apply, and you can see here, after reverse translation, triangle is shifted to origin, or the pivot point is now the origin. xr yr is equal to 0 comma 0. And once that is done, now I am ready to apply the actual transformation that I am supposed to do. So what is that? I have to apply now rotation, and now I can apply here rotation. You can see about an angle theta I am rotating the object, and remember about which fixed point I am rotating now? I am rotating about the origin. So once that is done, I am not going to leave the object over here. I have to shift this object back to its original position. So what is the original position of the object? It is xr comma yr. So I have to get it back to the original position, but this time the rotated triangle I am getting back to the original position. So how to rotate, how to get the rotated object back to its original position? I have to now again perform translation, but this time in what direction I am performing translation? It is in the forward direction I am performing translation. So forward translation you apply, so that now the point, it shifts from origin back to the original position. And what is that? xr comma yr. Now the pivot point is the original arbitrary point, that is xr comma yr, and now you can see the object is rotated about this arbitrary point. So this is a series of transformations that you have to apply. Remember, we have to maintain the order of transformation. So how is that we can write this order, or in sequence how we can write this? Remember that sequence should be always written from right to left, not from left to right. So first and foremost, the translation is applied, and that translation is reverse translation. So reverse translation, I can write it as minus tx comma minus ty. That reverse translation I am applying here. And after reverse translation, now you are ready to perform the rotation. So this is a translation, and now here it is the rotation, and here again I am applying translation. So reverse translation is done, and then now I am ready to perform the rotation. So rotation about an angle theta I am applying, and after rotation I am going back to my original position by applying the forward translation. So forward translation is given by tx comma ty. So this is how I perform the series of transformations in order, but remember the order is from right to left. First reverse translation, then rotation, and then the forward translation. So this is how you have to multiply all the three matrices. You call this as post multiplication because it is done from right to left, and this is a sequence of transformation. You can just see here the sequence of transformation, or the matrices that we are concatenating. So you can see my, as I already said, the reverse translation matrix 1 0 minus xr and minus xyr. So what is this? The reverse translation, x component of translation, and this is the y component of translation, minus xr and minus yr. So after that, now here I am performing the rotation, and since the rotation matrix we have the standard rotation matrix, because here I am rotating the object about origin, so that is why I can take the matrix directly: cos theta minus sin theta 0, then sin theta cos theta 0, and then 0 0 1. Remember, all order of all the three matrices is same, it's 3 by 3, because we are following the homogeneous coordinate system. Next, this is forward translation. So getting the object back to its original position. So x component of translation, y component of translation. So these are the three matrices which we are multiplying back to back, and this is the final product of the three matrix or matrix multiplication. So my product of matrix multiplication is again, the order is again 3 by 3, and you can see cos theta minus sin theta, and this is xr into 1 minus cos theta plus yr into sin theta after multiplying all the three, and then sin theta cos theta, and then this is yr into 1 minus cos theta minus xr sin theta, and finally the last row remains the same, it is 0 0 1. So this is the resultant matrix after applying all the three transformation back to back. And then you can write this in general something like this, as I already wrote: T reverse translation, then rotation, and then here forward translation. So when you're writing, you please write it from right to left so that you can remember it in a better way. So in general you can write it in this way. It is the something like you're rotating the object about the arbitrary point xr comma yr by an angle theta. Okay, and remember here the reverse translation whatever we have applied, that is also equivalent to this. What is it? It indicates reverse translation. So T inverse, this indicates T inverse, and about the arbitrary point xr comma yr. So this is equivalent. We have now the next type of transformation. And the next type of transformation that we can apply is scaling. Scaling also can be done about an arbitrary point. So, but we have the standard scaling matrix wherein it is applied by taking origin as the fixed point. But here we can perform scaling about an arbitrary point, say xf comma yf. So how do I apply scaling about arbitrary point? Again, the same procedure has to be followed. I can get the object to the origin. So what is that I'm doing? I'm getting this arbitrary point or fixed point to origin. So how do I get it origin? I have to perform reverse translation. So reverse translation is done in the backward direction, or it is minus xf minus yf you apply, so that you get this point back to the origin. So in that way I get my object here. So once I get it over here, after I apply reverse translation, once I get it, that next I am now ready to perform scaling. So scaling is done by taking the scaling factor sx and sy. So you can scale the object along x-axis, or you can scale the object along y-axis, so depends. So after I scale the object, I can't leave the object there. I have to get the object back to its original position. So that procedure you call it as forward translation. By applying forward you can say the translation factor along x and translation factor along y, so that you call it as forward translation. So this procedure remains the same, but here instead of rotation I am performing scaling. You can see now the same in the matrix format. So you can see first the translation, reverse translation is applied. So minus xf and minus syf, it indicates reverse translation. It is something like, if my arbitrary point about which I have to rotate is say 5 comma 5, so reverse translation indicates indicates here minus xf minus yf indicates it's minus 5 and minus 5. What is the meaning of that? I'm subtracting this 5. In order to get this 5 comma 5 to the origin, I have to subtract this 5 comma 5 from minus 5 comma minus 5, so that I get the resultant 5 minus 5 as 0, and again 5 minus 5 as 0. So x coordinates I subtract 5 minus 5, I get the new x coordinate as 0. 5 minus 5 I subtract y coordinate, new y coordinate, I get it as 0. That is what I want. I have to apply this reverse translation. So I can do that by subtracting the arbitrary point by itself. So minus xf minus yf you have here. So this matrix you multiply with the scaling matrix. So here after getting the object origin, I am applying scaling. So sx is the scaling along x, and this is scaling along y. And finally I apply the forward translation. What is that? Getting the object back to its original position. So that you can do it by adding again for 0 plus 5, again plus 5 along y. So the resultant is given by 5 comma 5. So xf comma yf is given by 5 comma 5. So this is the resultant, and now you can see the product of that sx 0 xf into 1 minus sx, again here yf into 1 minus sy, and this is the resultant matrix. You can write it in this way: reverse translation, scaling, and the forward translation, and in general the resultant is given by this. You can now see here scaling, general two-dimensional scaling. So it is something like I can scale the object in other direction as well. So what is the meaning of other direction over here? So I can perform now rotation. Okay, so in order to achieve this scaling in other direction, I can go for rotation as well. So what is it? We can see, we can discuss this with the help of an example. So consider here that I have to apply now scaling factors with values specified by the parameters s1 and s2. So you can just see the direction of scaling. I have to scale along both x-axis and along y-axis. So scaling is done along both x-axis and y-axis. So about both the axes, how can I scale together? So here for doing that, what I can do, I can just align my object. I should align my object now along this scaling direction. So I have to align my object along x, and also I have to align my object along y. So for doing this, I'll apply rotation. Alignment is nothing but I have to now rotate or orient the object along x and orient the object along y. So this orientation is done by applying rotation. So first rotate the object by an angle theta in order to align the desired scaling direction. So here, before you apply the actual scaling, we have to align the object by performing rotation, that is rotate the object in the desired direction, scaling direction. So here this also can be done. So scaling need not be always along only one axis. You can also perform scaling along in a different direction, that is along x axis and then along y axis. So in order to do that, first you have to apply rotation in order to align, orient the object, and after performing rotation then you can perform the actual scaling there. We can just see here how to do that with the help of a matrix. So as I already said, before you apply the actual scaling, first you align or first you orient the object by applying rotation. So you can see, since it is done from sequences of transformation is done from right to left, you can just see first the rotation is applied by an angle theta. After rotating the object, then you can apply the actual scaling. So scaling factor is given here, S1 and S2. So once you perform the actual scaling, and then finally what you can do is, see, undoing the rotation. What is that? Here we are not asked to perform, the actual transformation is not rotation. We are not asked to perform this rotation, but just to align the object in the scaling direction. In order to align the object along the scaling direction, we had performed this rotation. But once you perform this actual rotation, once you perform this actual scaling thing, what you can do? You can undo the rotation by applying reverse rotation. So what is that? You can undo the rotation by applying or by rotating the object along minus theta. So what is the meaning of reverse rotation? See, if I am rotating the object along 45 degree, because my object, since it is aligned, my objects or my scaling direction is maybe along 45 degree. So in order to align it with the scaling direction, I have to rotate the object by 45 degree. After I rotate the object by 45 degree, now I am ready to perform the scaling. So after I increase or decrease the size of the object, that is after I perform scaling, I cannot leave the object there. I have to now perform reverse rotation, that is I have to perform the rotation in the clockwise direction by an angle minus 45 degree. So this is rotation in the anti-clockwise direction with the positive angle 45 degree. Now I am undoing that rotation by applying or by performing rotation by an angle minus 45 degree in the clockwise direction. So anti-clockwise and clockwise direction. So this type of transformation also can be done, and this is a product of all the three matrices, and this is the resultant matrix what you get after multiplying rotation matrix, scaling matrix, and reverse rotation matrix. So reverse rotation includes minus of angle theta. Now we'll just see some of the matrix concatenation properties. So what are the properties this matrices hold, or whenever we concatenate the matrices, what are the different key points that we have to remember? We can just see multiplication of matrices is always associative in nature. So whenever we are performing the matrix multiplication, see the order of multiplication what we have written. Since this is the post multiplication, you have to start from right to left. So first matrix M1 which is multiplied with matrix M2, and then which is multiplied by matrix M3. So why do you call it as associative? It is something like all the three matrices, when you multiply, it is equivalent to, see, M3 you can multiply with M2, and the resultant of that or the product of those two matrices you can multiply with M1. Still that is equivalent to M1 and M2 you multiply first, and then that resultant you multiply with the final matrix M3. So in this direction, right to left, M1 M2 you multiply, and that product you can multiply by M3. So that result also will be equivalent. So all the three results or the products of all the three types of multiplication is same. So you multiply all three separately, or you multiply M3 M2 and separately and then multiply by M1, or maybe M1 M2 you separately multiply and then multiply by M3. All the three resultant remains the same. So you call this property as associative property. And remember, always we perform this multiplication from left to right, so you call that as you perform this multiplication from right to left, so you call this as post multiplication, rather than doing it from right to left, rather than calling it as pre multiplication. So we perform the post multiplication here. That is property 1. So next we have the property 2, next property of matrix multiplication. So that is the transformation products. So transformation products, that means the answer, final answer after multiplication of matrices. So it is not commutative. So what is the meaning of commutative here? You can just see the matrix product M2 and M1 may not be always equal to the product of M1 and M2. So just you are reversing, M2 into M1 may not be always equal to M1 into M2 in general. Okay, so always this may not be equal, so you cannot call this as commutative. Okay, so that is the second property. So if the next point over here is, if we want to translate and rotate an object, so we must be very careful about the order in which the composite matrix is evaluated. So if you want to mix the two type of transformation, that is, first if you want to translate and then if you want to rotate an object, so you should be very careful about the order in which the matrices are evaluated. So first you should multiply translation matrix with the rotation matrix. Okay, so this matrix multiplication is important. This should be done first, and then that resultant can be multiplied with the next remaining set of matrices. So you call this as post multiplication. So first you multiply the rightmost matrices, and then that product you multiply with the leftmost matrix. So this is how the composite matrix is evaluated. Next we have the continuation of the property. So the next point that you have to remember is reversing the order. So what is the meaning of reversing the order? Reversing the order is something like, instead of right to left, if you change the order to left to right. So in this case, the sequence of transformation, whatever you have performed, it may change the transformation, it may change the position of the object at all. So that, what is that? Suppose if I am applying first reverse translation and then scaling, and then I perform the forward translation. Okay, so this is the order, right? So that order is always, we prefer to write it from right to left. You call it as post multiplication. What if when you perform the multiplication of matrices, instead of right to left, if you perform from left to right, so that will totally affect the object that you have transformed. Okay, so that is the one major issue. And next point is, if an object is first translated, you can just look at this figure, just concentrate on this figure A. So if the object is first translated, you can see here in the x direction, this translation is happening along x axis, so it is in the x direction, and then you perform the rotation. See, we have rotated this particular object here. So after you perform the rotation in the anti-clockwise direction, we are rotating this along the anti-clockwise direction, and the angle of rotation, say if it is 45 degree. So what is the order you have made? First translation, and then you perform the rotation. The rotation is in the anti-clockwise direction, that is a positive angle 45 degree. And now you see this figure, the object is first rotated, in the anti-clockwise direction, and what is that? It's 45 degree. Here the rotation is performed first, and the angle of rotation is 45 degree. And after you perform this anti-clockwise rotation, next you translate in the x direction. So you translate it in the x direction. So you can just see here, this object is rotated directly along by angle 45 degree. So after you perform, I'm sorry, I was a little wrong here. So in the figure B, you just concentrate, this is my original object, and for that object I am applying the rotation, and the angle of rotation is 45 degree. So I have to anti-clockwise, I have to rotate this object. So this is indicating the rotated object, and after I perform the rotation, next I am applying translation. So this is a translated object. So the final translated object is over here, right? So translation is just the displacement. My object is over here. So what about this? Compare this figure B with the figure A. This object, after translating, I am rotating it about an arbitrary point, say. So that rotation is done about an arbitrary point by an angle 45 degree. So this is my final object's position. This is my final object's position. So which is totally different from the second figure B, wherein the transformations what I have applied is same, but only thing what is changed there is the sequence. See, angle of rotation remains the same, translation factor also remains the same, but only thing what has changed is the sequence. So in the figure A, first translation is applied and then the rotation is applied. So it is from right to left I am writing, first translation and then rotation. But here what has happened, first rotation I am doing, you can say from left to right I am applying, first rotation and then translation. So in both the cases actually the position matters, it changes. So this is the difference you can see if you change the sequence of transformation. Okay, so this is what is going to happen.